Alright, howdy everybody, here's my next video review. I was lucky enough to get in on the loaner tour for the Grado GH-2 Limited Edition through Todd the Vinyl Junkie. I really appreciate it. This is the second one I've been on. The first one was the full color Lear, which to date is my absolute favorite headphone. And then when I saw these, I put my name in and I was lucky enough to get on these. Retail Limited Edition, I believe only 1,400 total of them. Retail price for $650, and from what I read, these deviate a little bit from the typical Grado sound. I'll be honest, I've never heard a Grado before, other than their excellent phono cartridges, which I really like. Someday I'll have one for my Lynn Sondek Access turntable when mine wears out, but that'll be a few years because I've got a decent one. So, came in a very basic box, Grado Limited Edition, with some information. This is the Heritage Series. On the back, some interesting information. I liked the look of this. Nice simple box. There you go. Prestige Series, sorry, not Heritage Edition. Prestige Series Model GH2. Opening this up, I was presented with a little flap about welcome to the family. A little bit of history there. On the inside, it said please read. Talking about some things. Don't overdo it. Don't make it too loud, etc. First thing I noticed when I popped these back is I noticed that some of the stain was still on there. So these must have been made, and I think maybe through transit. Next thing I noticed was how pretty they were sitting in here. And then I got to do this. This made me laugh. What's that shape look like? Yeah, it looks like Mickey Mouse when it's turned that way. But there's no Mickey Mousing around with these headphones. Then it goes into the warranty. So I did keep these in this when I was not using them. And I felt that was the way to do it. All right, so here's the unit in hand. This is the Cocobolo wood. It's South American wood. They only use the heartwood for this. I know in the GH1 they paid homage to their neighborhood by using the Brooklyn tree. This one is a very hard, dense wood, so it gives acoustic abilities. Foam cover, foam ear cup, which a lot of people have complained about. My opinion is if you get these, they make upgraded ones, get those, play around with them. I said that on a different headphone that I just reviewed. Do that. A very basic setup, swing arm, it sits in there. I believe it's a 44 millimeter driver, single rod, and then just a strap. These are about as simple as you can get. These do spin 360. I found no problem fitting these on. These did fit very close. These are a fully open, and just for fun I would cover my ears and it absolutely ruined the sound. So this is the very first pair of fully open headphones that I've reviewed. Cable came with the adapter on it already. As I drop the cable. Big thick cable. There was some complaint in some of the reviews about how thick the cable was, and I think that's true, but then from what I read, Grado is very big on making sure things are built to last, and I gotta say that it's okay. I dealt with it. I think it's a little thick for its purposes, but again, I think it worked. Alright, getting back to these. These fit very nicely. I was able to get a good comfortable fit. These slide up and down within the housing. And it stays nice and tight. Once it's there, it stays there. I was able to get it about like that, and it fit. So I'll admit, the first time when I picked these up, I picked them up in the middle of the day, played them through my little Shanley M1, and I openly started laughing at how wonderful these sound. Just open, not bright, but an airy, kind of like that first traverse outside on a spring day where you're kind of going, wow, all right, I remember this is what spring sounds like. Just magnificent sound. I really, really liked it. From what I did hear, when I did read on the GH2s, they did tone down the treble sound a little bit. And if that's the case, then I fully approve. I do have a little bit of treble problems because of hearing loss due to too much loud rock and roll as a kid, but I gotta say I approved of these. These had a decent bass push. It's not overwhelming, but it's just right. It seemed right and it seemed fitting. But I was laughing because I didn't have these up real loud, but my colleague, my partner in crime, so to speak, came in And I could understand her plain as day, like we were having a conversation, and the music was still going on. And I asked her if she could hear my music through this, and she said, no, I can't. I let her try these on, and she really liked these too. It just brought a big old smile to her face putting these on. I did run these mostly through my MacBook Pro with my iFi IDST Micro Black Label, and I was lucky enough to have the iTube 2 as a preamp in there. What a magnificent combination this was. Again, open sound, nice and airy, good bass. The mids on this, maybe it's because your ears are closer to the driver, but I don't think so. Mids seem to be pushed a little bit forward, and it was when I tested them out against my AudioQuest Night Owls and my Night Hawks, I found that the mids were pushed much further forward than the Nighthawks. Overall sound, they were very close. They're very different. That's a much deeper, darker sound. And I gotta say that I liked this sound better than I did those. And then the last 2 days, I brought in my Nighthawks. And I think the Nighthawks had a much closer sound to the Grados than the Night Owls did. So this might be a better comparison. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the semi-open nature, but these seem to be... sorry about the motorcycles in the background. I got neighbors. They like riding their dirt bikes. Not that the Nighthawks were as open sounding as Airy, but they did provide good bass and good mids. The mids weren't quite as far. This is much more of a laid-back sound signature, and so is the Night Owl. The soundstage on this was wide, as you'd expect from an open headphone. I would say it's a good large cube, very wide, very far forward, and good up and down. Both the Night Owls and the Nighthawk give a more close, intimate soundstage, but still with good depth and pretty decent height. But overall, I would say the Grados win with the width, the height, and the fore and aft. The foam, this comes off pretty easy. There it is. I did notice one flaw. See if I can get it to focus. Right there. I think when they ran the glue, they did not seal it all the way. To me, it did not hinder the sound at all. But the driver, the actual driver and electronics sit flush in the wood. So you can see the little grooves. These are handmade in Brooklyn, New York. Still true to the company. Nothing's made overseas. They did get the wood. Everything is made in-house. Grado Heritage Series GH2s. So summing this up, as you'd expect from a fully open headphone, open airy sound, mids pushed forward, very good sound stage, quite pleasant, good decent bass, especially when I had the bass switch up on both the Black Label and on the iTube. Quite acceptable. I like a good bass thump. While these didn't have that good bass thump, it was quite acceptable knowing how exceptional the overall sound characteristics were of this. So, sum this up in a few words. Too late already. If you can get a chance to listen to the Grado GH-2 Limited Edition, I think this is a home run. They took what they know from their studio headphones and what they put into the GH1 with using the Brooklyn tree, and they made a very acceptable second edition to this. If you get a chance to listen to one of these 1400 limited edition models, it'd be well worth your time, whether it's at a studio, at your recording store, or if a buddy ends up having a pair. During the first few days, to sum this up, what I would say is I was thinking, okay, how can I sell both of those to replace it with these? That's how serious it was and how much I liked these compared to those. In fact, I'm still kind of considering that, but I think I'll sit on that a while. I like both the Nighthawk and the Night Owl. I really like the Grado. Open, airy, spring-like sound, kind of like you're sitting outside on a hammock with that first wonderful spring day, not too hot, nice breeze. Mids pushed forward, almost like you have your personal concert right there. And the whole outdoors is your sound stage. So, Grado, GH2, retails $650. Todd, thank you very much. 2 thumbs up on these. I really like the sounds of these. Go give them a try. Take care. Alright, I'm back. Just a real quick summary synopsis. They're back in the box. I'm really going to miss these. To clarify, I was serious when I said about the first 2 or 3 days I had these. I was thinking seriously of getting rid of both of those to fund a purchase for these. That actually would end up with some change back in my pocket, which wouldn't be a bad thing. I guess if I had to sum these up, besides open and airy, those first few days I would say clarity. They let the music through and it was just a crystal clear sound. I think if I had to describe these in 1 word, clarity would be the top, or 3 words. Clarity, open, airy, and then I'll throw the 4th word in, wonderful sounding. So, Grado Prestige Series, model GH2. I guess it's the Prestige Heritage. If you get a chance to read about the history of the company, it's a pretty fascinating read. I like researching the companies when I get to listen to these. That's part of what I do before I get the unit in hand, so I have a good idea of their heritage. Good family company, still makes stuff here. Unwavering dedication. Model GH2 Limited Edition. Go try and listen to a pair if you can. I think it'll be well worth your time. Alright, take care. Thanks.